Hi guys, welcome back to another video tutorial. So this tutorial will be slightly different in that we're going to go through an exam question. I did two tutorials that covered two different exam questions. One was on an area of a triangle and the other one was on a simultaneous equation. So if you haven't checked those out, I'll put the link on the top right hand corner of your screen for you guys to check it out. Hopefully it will help you out as well to be able to understand how to solve those kind of questions. And in this one, as I'm sure you've seen from the thumbnail, we're going to be looking at Pythagoras and a bit of surds. So if you want me to do more exam like video tutorials, put it down in the comments if you want me to do more of these and what kind of topics you want me to do as well, and I'll be more than happy to do it. That should not be a problem. Okay, so let's get straight to the question. The question here is asking us: ABC is a right angled triangle, P is a positive integer, find the value of P. So as you can see, they've told us that this triangle is a right angled triangle, so we know straight away, okay, it's a right angle. And they've given us a length for AC, which is in surds, root 3 plus root 15, and they've given me, or given us, sorry, a length here, BC, which is 3 plus root 5, but they're asking us to find this length P. Now, the only way that we haven't got any other angles, by the way, so if you can see from this question, we only know it's a 90 degrees triangle, but we haven't got any angles, so we can't use trigonometry as in the SOHCAHTOA. So the only other option that we have is Pythagoras theorem. Now, Pythagoras theorem, if you don't know, it's h squared is equals to a squared plus b squared. Now, I know some of you guys and some schools teach it differently. I think they use C. It really doesn't matter the notation, which letters you use. Basically, what I'm saying here is my hypotenuse squared, which is h, is equals to this length squared plus this length squared. That is it. Okay, so whatever letter you use, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, you're going to put these numbers in this format. So using this formula, what I'm going to use this formula to basically find my value of P. Now my hypotenuse is the longer side of this triangle. What is the longer side of this triangle? It's the length AC. So root 3 plus root 15 is going to be my hypotenuse. So I'm going to substitute that in here. So instead of saying h, I'm going to say root 3 plus root 15. But now this is going to be whole thing squared because it says h squared equals, now a and b really doesn't matter which one is which, right? Because it's still going to give you the same answer when you add them up, so it doesn't matter. So I'm going to say a is going to be my p, but it's a squared, so it's going to be p squared, plus my b value is going to be 3 plus root 5, but because it's b squared, I'm going to have 3 plus root 5 whole thing squared. Okay, so it doesn't matter. You can have 3 plus root 5 as your a value, and you can have p as your b value. It really doesn't matter here because it's going to give you the same answer. But remember, we want to find p, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep p. Okay, let me write it this way so you guys understand what I'm doing. So can I not write this as p squared plus 3 plus root 5 squared is equals to root 3 plus root 15 squared. Do you guys see what I've done here? So basically I've taken this and I've put this on the left hand side, and I've taken this and put this on the right hand side. It's the same thing. Okay, now because I want p by itself, or p squared by itself, I'm going to move this 3 plus root 5 squared to the other side. So remember, whenever you move something from one side to the other, the sign changes. So this plus now becomes minus. So what we're going to end up having is root 3 plus root 15 whole thing squared minus, bring this to the other side, so 3 plus root 5 squared. Oh yes, and the bracket 4 means 4 marks. I forgot to mention this at the beginning. So this is a 4-mark question. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand the brackets. So keep p squared the same, and how I'm going to expand this is basically by saying root 3 plus root 15 squared. So I'm going to times it by itself. So I'm going to times it by root 3 plus root 15, and then minus, if I put minus, I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to expand that, so it's going to be 3 plus root 5 and then 3 plus root 5. Now this normally would be in a non-calculator question, because if you use a calculator, it'd be too easy to expand this, right? So expect this normally in a non-calculator question. So keep p squared the same, and now we're going to start expanding. So root 3 times root 3 is root 9. Root 3 times root 15 is root 45, and root 15 times root 3 is also root 45, and then root 15 times root 15 is root 225. Again, I am not simplifying anything yet, I'm just expanding to show you what I'm doing. Now again, if you're not sure how to expand brackets in surds, I have also made another video tutorial on surds and rationalization. I'll put the link on the top right hand corner of your screen, so do check it out if you don't know how to expand these brackets, because it's very important. If you don't know how to expand, you can't do this question. Now if we're going to expand this one, that's going to be 9 plus 3 root 5 plus 3 root 5. And the reason why I'm basically what I'm doing is I'm doing 3 times 3, which is 9, and I'm doing 3 times root 5, which is 3 root 5, and I'm doing root 5 times 3, which is 3 root 5, and the last one is root 5 times root 5, which is root 25. Now I'm going to simplify this, so p squared is equals to, so root 9 is 3, root 45 plus root 45 is 2 plus 2 root 45, okay, and then root 225 is 15. Minus, keep that in the bracket. Now root 25 we know is 5, so 5 plus 9 gives me 14. 3 root 5 plus 3 root 5 is 6 root 5, so that's 6 root 5. And now p squared is equals to 3 plus 15 is 18. Now I can split this root 45, I can simplify this further, right? Because I know if I were to write here on the side, root 45 can also be written as root 9 times root 5, and we know that root 9 is 3, so we get 3 root 5. So if I split this, I can say 2 root 9, because the 2 is there, times root 5, right? So that's me splitting that root 45. Now this minus, be careful, this minus we're going to multiply by every single term inside this bracket. So minus times 14 is going to be minus 14, minus times 6 root 5 is going to be minus 6 root 5. Now p squared is equals to 18 minus 14 is 4. Now root 9, so plus, what is root 9? 3. 3 times 2, 6, and then 6 times root 5, 6 root 5. Right? Did you see what I've done there? So what, again, I'll explain what I just did there. Root 9 is 3, but then because this is 2 times root 9, we're going to do 3 times 2, which is 6, but then there's also another time, 6 times root 5 is 6 root 5, minus 6 root 5. And then 6 root 5 minus 6 root 5 gives us 0. So now you're left with p is equals to 4, or p squared equals to 4. So if I were to write this here, p squared is equals to 4, so my p value is equals to plus and minus the square root of 4, right? And that doesn't look like a 4. So square root of 4, and we know that will give me p is equals to plus and minus 2. Right? And if you're asking me, if you ask, okay, why do you have to have plus and minus? Whenever you square root, you have 2 values, right? But now if you look at the question, and square root of 4 is 2, by the way, right? Now if you look at the question, they said that p is a positive integer, right? Therefore, my p value cannot be minus 2, but plus 2, because it's the positive integer. The positive integer means positive whole number. So I don't care about the minus 2, but I look at the 2. And also, if you think about it, you can't really have a negative length, right? So even if you said minus 2, you can't have a negative 2 in a triangle, a negative length. It wouldn't make sense. Okay, so this is pretty much what you do and how you solve this question. Now I know what I've done here is I've really done it step by step, right? You don't need to do some of the simplification here. You can do it in one go, right? And I'm not saying that you have to write line by line here. What I'm saying is obviously the formula, the method, and then the simplifying. You don't have to write root, like for example in this one, root 9 is 3 and root 225 is 15. You know that's already going to be 18, so you don't have to write 3 plus 15, right? I'm just showing you the step by step so that you guys understand what exactly I'm doing. Okay, so hopefully you've taken something from this video, and that's pretty much how you solve this question. If you have any queries or any doubts on this question, put it down in the comments and I will get back to you.